The Great's favorite palace, or rather cottage, was known as Mon Plaisir. French name can be translated into English as My Pleasure Palace, where Peter the Great enjoyed to stay right on the coast of the Gulf of Finland with his new family that he acquired, second wife that he acquired living in St. Petersburg. And then they built a guest house like Chateau de Marly, and then the small hermitage on the grounds of the Lao Park. The bathhouses, a nice complex of bathhouses, also was put up on the grounds of the Lao Park. We shall see the outside of all those mentioned above. And Peter the Great entrusted the construction of the fountain system to the young Russian engineer Vasily Tuvolokov, who just came back to St. Petersburg after he had studied for 5 years the hydraulic engineering. Peter the Great sent the best, the most talented people of Russia, didn't matter what origin, to study abroad on the state money. And Vasily Tuvolokov, that young engineer, happened to be the best of the best. I'm talking about foreign students studying the hydraulic engineering in Holland and in France. And therefore he was put in charge of the construction of the fountain system for Peterhof. That was Peter the Great's idea at the beginning, to use the water of the Gulf of Finland for the fountains of Peterhof, but in that case Russia would have to buy pumping machines from the Western world, and pumps were rather expensive, and Peter himself tried to save every penny to put it into the development of the Russian state. He was a very modest person himself. If he spent money on the palaces, that was for the good image of Russia in the eyes of the Western world. And that Vasily Tuvolokov, Russian engineer, changed the idea of Peter. He rode around from the very beginning. He rode around Peterhof summer residence, and he found within 10 miles from Peterhof the Ropsha Hills, a bit more than 100 meters above the sea level. Those hills were and still are. On top of the Ropsha Hills there were several natural lakes supplied with the underground rivers and springs, and he had a brilliant idea to construct a unique fountain system for Peterhof. A canal was dug from top of the Ropsha Hills way down to Peterhof Gardens, and special pipes designed, including numerous locks and sluices. He actually decided to use the gravity law, no pumps at all. Till nowadays they do not use any pumps for Peterhof fountains. So what they had to do to turn the fountains on from Peter's days, they had to open up the ducts and sluices of the fountain system, and under its natural pressure water kept flowing down from top of the hills, from those lakes, on top of the hills, way down to Peterhof Gardens, and then up in the fountains. In the course of the years and later period, the system had to be modernized, but still it was absolutely all destroyed during the occupation, but still very much in use, by the way. And in Peter's days, they managed to design a beautiful summer place. Peter the Great was very proud of his brand new summer residence, and he decided to have a grand opening of Peterhof. For that, many members of the imperial family from the West were invited. Many famous people of the Western world were invited. At the beginning they did not like to come, to be honest with you, as Russia was looked down upon by the majority of them, and it was in a way very much true that before Peter, Russia was a primary agricultural very backward state, and none of the Russian rulers ever traveled outside the country, unlike Peter the Great in later period. So then Peter the Great, who wanted to show the world his successes, promised to those VIPs who planned to visit his new summer residence and the city of St. Petersburg to pay their traveling expenses